My family includes a single mother and two sons. My father passed away due to illness shortly after I was born, and my mother worked hard to raise my brother and me. During my childhood, we were so poor that my mother only worked from dawn till late at night.
I'm sorry for always making you feel lonely.
Don't worry, I'm fine since I have bro. When I was very young, you might ask if I felt lonely when my mother was out for work, but I never felt that way because I had my brother. He was a bit older than me and took good care of me. I'm sorry for always making you restless.
It's all good. I enjoy doing the house chores.
When my mother was not around, my brother would make simple meals and willingly take on household chores. I believe my mother felt greatly helped. Bro, can you teach me how to do these chores too?
You want to start doing house chores too. Be careful not to get hurt.
Influenced by my brother, I naturally started helping with the house chores as well.
If you do it this way, it'll be more efficient and you do it better.
You're right. You're amazingly proficient, bro.
Of course, I am your big brother after all.
At first, I was poor at it, but thanks to my brother's advice, I quickly improved. As my brother could do anything great either at home or at school, he had many friends. I have admired him ever since I was very young.
Why don't you play with us today?
I have to make dinner since Mom will be late today.
You always have a lot on your plate.
This is a sort of my hobby, so it's all right. Would you like to join us for dinner?
Sure, I'm in.
My brother's friends often came over to play, so our house was always lively. I would say that my brother, who can do anything including teaching me, is like a father to me. By the time I graduated from high school, my brother had started working to support our family.
You should go to college. I'll pay for it.
But I was thinking of starting work as early as possible to support our family too.
Silly. Without a college degree, it's hard for one to earn a steady income these days.
Upon graduating from high school, I thought about starting to work so as not to burden my mother and brother. However, due to my brother's strong wish, I decided to go to college. Thanks to my brother, I started studying so hard that I was able to get into a decent university. When I thought about starting a part-time job, my brother gently held me back.
Well, considering your future, having a job isn't bad. But remember, your studies come first. So don't push yourself too hard.
So I decided to work only on weekends, allowing me to focus on my studies and lead a fulfilling college life. Prompted by my friends, I decided to join a club at university, where I had a fateful encounter.
Hey, would you like going out together today?
Me? I'd love to. The girl was 3 years older. After then, we started getting out together frequently. She took the initiative, and eventually, we started dating.
So you finally found a girlfriend.
When I talked about her, my brother looked somewhat sad and lonely.
Today is your birthday, right? Here's a gift.
What? I can't receive anything so extravagant.
It's absolutely okay. It's your birthday, so don't hold back, please.
She was very generous, giving me extravagant gifts on my birthday and taking me to wonderful meals. I gave her presents too, but overall, she spent much more than I did, which made me feel sorry.
It's fine. My family is wealthy, so I get a hefty allowance.
She had grown up in a privileged environment, being a child of a bank officer. That's amazing, quite different from my situation.
Just because you come from a fatherless family, it's something you couldn't help. If I were in the same situation, I would have ended up the same.
She never looked down upon my family circumstances. Her understanding nature was probably one of the reasons I was attracted to her.
I got an offer to be a bank executive.
That's amazing. Congratulations. She smiled proudly. Even after she started working, we continued our relationship. The more time I spent with her, the stronger my desire to support her grew. I plan to propose to her after graduating from college.
What? Really? Well, you are a man. Make a decision.
When I talked to my brother, he was surprised, but he pushed forward. I graduated from college without a hitch and got a job at a small to medium-sized enterprise. I gradually got used to my job, bought a ring with my starting salary, and everything was set. I made a rare reservation at a deluxe restaurant for our date.
What a lovely place. I'm so happy.
Yeah, just occasionally. She was delighted with the romantic atmosphere I had chosen. Feeling that the ambience was just right, I pulled out the ring. Will you marry me? It was a bold proposal, but I found myself pathetically unable to look directly at her face. Holding out the ring over my head, I felt the ring left.
Thank you. I've always wanted to be with you, too.
Really? Upon her words, I felt like I was flying in the air. After the memorial moment, we began to talk about our future lives together, confirming each other's dreams. I proposed to her, and she said yes.
Oh, great. Congrats.
I'm going to visit her parents' house soon.
Well then, you've got to make a good impression in a nice suit.
My brother and I went out to choose a suit. According to him, a suit is a man's armor, and there's no room for compromise. Taking his advice into account, I chose what seemed to be the best suit. Until the day finally came, I spent restless days. Does this look okay?
I chose the best one for you, right? You look so handsome.
Right? All right, I'm going to her parents' house now.
Go for it.
With my brother's encouragement, I headed to her parents' house. I chose a cake as a gift from a pastry shop in the next town, where she told me her parents liked. When I arrived at her house, it was a grand mansion like you may see only on TV. Pressing the intercom button of the magnificent house with butterflies in my stomach, she greeted me with a smile.
Welcome.
May I come in?
I'm so glad to see you. Welcome to our home.
Her parents welcomed me kindly, and I was a bit relieved since I thought they'd be intimidating.
So you met our daughter at a university club.
Indeed, I've had a lot of support from her.
Oh, we've heard how proactive she was. Mom, stop. It's embarrassing.
The conversation with her parents went naturally, and I didn't feel as nervous as I thought I would. However, when the topic of my family came up, the atmosphere suddenly changed.
So, what kind of work do your parents do?
Well, my father passed away early, and my mother has been working hard ever since. The moment they heard these words, her mother looked surprised.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Are you from a single-parent family?
There was a slight discomfort in that exchange. I could sense their negative perception of my family. I started to stammer. Yes, but my brother has been fulfilling the role of a father. I could feel the atmosphere freeze at my words. When I glanced at her mother, her smile had disappeared, replaced with a stern gaze directed at me.
Coming from a single-parent household is a deal breaker.
Excuse me. I was momentarily baffled by her mother's words, letting out a surprised gasp.
Too bad with single-parent households.
Why?
Her father seemed to silently agree with the mother's words.
So that's how it is.
She looked at her parents with a resigned sigh. I was stunned as I gazed at her. She was completely different from when I proposed to her. The girl who said she wanted to be with me forever is now someone else. So, is there any problem with me coming from a single-parent family?
The backgrounds don't matter. We can't trust single-parent households. If you ever came asking us for money, it would be a problem. Bank trust comes first. It's best to avoid contacting with interest-worthy people.
Her father spoke with wrinkling his brow. His gaze seemed to look down on me. Did he think our family was desperate for money, and that I got close to his daughter because of it?
She can hang out with you, but marriage is a different matter. A poor family where the mother has to work till late at night has a completely different standard of living. The difference in values will eventually lead to a breakup.
At the word hangout, my head spun. Was she just playing around when she said she wanted to be with me? I even began to feel suspicious of her.
I'm sorry. If my parents don't approve, it's hard for us to get married. Can you leave for today?
She told me this without showing any sign of standing up to her parents or even seeming apologetic. Why? You knew from the beginning that I was from a single-parent family, didn't you? That's not a reason to give up on marriage. At my words, her parents stayed silent. I was shocked by the sight of her parents, who seemed to consider the matter settled, and her, who seemed to have no need for me now that her parents had said no. Just because I come from a single-parent family, and even going as far as to deny our standard of living, I felt angry. I understand. I'm leaving. Thank you for your hospitality. She didn't even see me out like she had welcomed me. I left her house as if running away and didn't look back. On my way home, I gritted my teeth in frustration. Tears threatened to spill, but I didn't want to worry my family, so I held them back and went home.
Welcome back. How did it go?
Feeling my return, my mother asked me with hopeful expectation, but I didn't know how to respond. Well, ha ha ha. I couldn't tell her that my engagement had been called off due to being from a single-parent household. I gave a vague answer and retreated to my room. My mother noticed something was off about me but didn't say anything, simply watching me.
What happened?
My brother, sensing something was amiss, entered my room and asked me. Confronted with his question, the relief of confessing to someone overwhelmed me, and I decided to spill everything about what happened that day. The engagement got called off because we're a single-parent household.
Really?
Her dad thinks we're just coming for money.
Are you serious?
Her mom said it's okay for just hanging out, but marriage is a no-go.
And what about her?
She said that if her parents don't approve, it's impossible.
That's harsh.
My brother was taken aback by everything I told him. His reaction gave me a small sense of relief.
Regardless of her parents' opinions, you're better off without her if she can't even form her own.
He wore a contemplative expression on his face.
What's the name of the bank her dad works at?
I told him the name she told me.
I see. I'll make a call.
His voice was low and had an icy edge to it. A few days later, out of the blue, she called me. I answered the phone cautiously, and her father's voice came through.
Hey, what did you do?
What are you talking about so suddenly? You wanted to cut ties with the Poe family, didn't you? Did something happen?
What are you hiding? I lost my job all of a sudden. What on earth did you do?
Oh, really? After I visited your home for the engagement, I did tell my family about the extreme discrimination I faced. My brother and his associates, after hearing about it, said they couldn't trust a bank with someone like that working there. They moved their deposits elsewhere. I think it was about $10 billion. Well, it's inevitable for a bank which operates on trust and handles people's money. In my words, her father was left speechless. In fact, my brother had successfully started his own company at a young age and was currently running a pretty sizable corporation. The bank her father worked at was the biggest bank in the area where we lived. It seems my brother had quite a large amount of transactions with that bank, including investments. The day he heard my story, my brother made a phone call to the bank and requested a change in the branch manager. The branch manager was in a complete frenzy, but my brother continued the call in a calm manner.
Our company will be ending our business relationship with you soon. This is due to a member of our board deeply hurting a family member. We will be visiting in person to discuss the details later.
And so, this was the outcome. I was surprised by how quickly my brother acted, but I never imagined that her father would lose his job.
I'm sorry. I apologize for my past rudeness. I will of course accept the marriage. So please.
Her father suddenly changed his tune, starting to apologize, but apologizing to me won't bring his job back. Over the phone, I could hear her father apologizing repeatedly, but the voice switched to hers.
I'm so sorry that my parents said such things, but I haven't given up on marrying you. Let's restart again, okay?
Hearing her apologize like this, my feelings for her had already faded. I knew her words were insincere. If she truly loved me, she would have defended me right then and there. I'm sorry, but I'll never contact with people like you who insulted my family.
I never insulted anyone. My parents are the real culprits. I'd even cut ties with them if.
That's a real shame. I guess you'll have to adjust to a less luxurious lifestyle now, but that's on you.
I've spent much on you, the worst. Give it back.
That was a gift you gave me. Besides, I threw it away as soon as we broke up. I could hear her shouting over the phone. Finding her voice grating, I was about to hang up when I heard her father's voice.
You made this mess.
Always passing the blame. I hung up and blocked her number. After that, I didn't receive any more messages from her. I tried visiting the bank where she worked, but she was nowhere to be seen. Rumors spread, and she might have been affected by them. Months later, when I happened to pass by her house, there was a for sale sign on the mansion. It seemed she could no longer even maintain her living standards. How much had she and her family been spending all this time? I had no ties to them anymore, and no means or interest in finding out. People who judge others based on their family background or financial status, I guess this is their comeuppance.
So the mansion's up for sale, huh? Interesting. They got what they deserved, I guess. Well, it's what I had planned anyway.
My brother said, laughing. My brother, always a force to be reckoned with, always has the inside scoop.
Your ex, I heard she's working at a diner now. Want to check it out?
Sounds good. Let's order from the expensive menu. We thought of getting back at my ex-girlfriend and shared a wicked smile between us. My brother has been helping me out since we were kids, and once again, he came to my aid. I really can't thank him enough. If my brother ever needs help in the future, I would risk my life to protect him. And I vowed in my heart to become someone who could at least assist my brother.